When Ramit Sethi wrote, "I will teach you to be rich," he asked readers to define their rich life. His own answer at the time was ordering appetizers at a restaurant, not a mansion. Appetizers, because growing up, that was the small luxury his family could rarely afford. That one detail captures everything this book is about. Because the premise of everything Sethi teaches is this: most people are optimizing their finances without ever deciding what they are optimizing for. They cut and save and sacrifice toward a destination they have never actually defined. And then they wonder why, even when the numbers improve, the feeling of financial progress never quite arrives. I Will Teach You to Be Rich is not a book about restriction. It is a system for designing a life first and building the money around it second. These are the 5 lessons that make that system work. And stick around, because the final one reframes what investing even means, and most people have been thinking about it completely wrong. Welcome to Mindcraft, where ideas become action and action becomes your future. If that sounds like the kind of financial thinking you have been looking for, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. We put out videos every week designed to turn clarity into action. Now let's get into it. Lesson 1. Define what a rich life means to you. 2 people, same city, similar incomes, completely different financial lives. The first person earns $60,000 a year and spends $6,000 of it on designer shoes. She shares an apartment, takes public transit, and has never owned a car. On the surface, she looks irresponsible, but her retirement contributions are automated, her savings rate is healthy, and she has zero financial anxiety, because every dollar she spends is a dollar she chose to spend. She knows exactly what her rich life looks like, and she has built everything else around it. The second person earns twice as much, drives a leased car he cannot comfortably afford, lives in an apartment that impresses visitors, and checks his bank balance with a low-grade dread he has learned to ignore. He is not broke, he is just optimizing for an image instead of a life. Sethi draws the line between these 2 people in the opening of the book. I want you to be rich, but rich doesn't mean the same thing to everyone. The first step, the one most people skip, is deciding what it means to you, not in theory. Specifically, what does the best version of your financial life look like on a Wednesday afternoon? What would you spend more on without hesitation if the money were there? What are you currently spending on that you genuinely do not care about? Until those questions have real answers, every financial decision is navigation without a map. And no system, no matter how well designed, can take you somewhere you have never chosen to go. Lesson 2. Conscious spending is not what you think. This is the lesson that makes people uncomfortable, because it sounds like permission to be reckless. It is the opposite. Sethi's argument is not that you should spend more. It is that you should spend with intention so precise that guilt becomes irrelevant. He writes, "I want you to spend extravagantly on the things you love, as long as you cut costs mercilessly on the things you don't." The tool he uses to make this practical is called the money dial. Everyone has a category of spending that genuinely lights them up. Travel, food, health, experiences, convenience. And that is the dial you turn all the way up. You fund it by going all the way down on everything that does not matter to you. His own life is the clearest example. Sethi drives a 2005 Honda Accord. Cars do not move him, but he will pay without hesitation for a first-class hotel, because that is where he feels the value. One of his friends moved into a smaller apartment the same week he received a major promotion, not because he was struggling, but because housing was not on his dial. The money he freed up went directly toward the travel and experiences that were. This is what separates conscious spending from budgeting. Budgeting asks you to spend less on everything. Conscious spending asks you to be ruthlessly honest about what actually makes your life better and redirect everything else toward that. The people who do this well are not depriving themselves, they are just choosing. And it turns out that choosing, done with enough clarity, is one of the most powerful financial moves available. Lesson 3. There is no ceiling on what you can earn. At some point, cutting has nowhere left to go. The subscriptions are cancelled, the budget is lean, and the number still does not move fast enough. That is when most people conclude that their income is a fixed variable, a wall they have to work within, rather than a ceiling they can push through. Sethi's reframe is direct. There's a limit to how much you can cut, but no limit to how much you can earn. Consider what that actually means in practice. A person who negotiates a $5,000 raise and invests the difference does not just gain $5,000 this year. At a 7% annual return over 30 years, that single conversation is worth nearly $500,000. One meeting, properly prepared for. That is the difference between optimizing small and winning big. The 3 strategies Sethi outlines are negotiating your current salary, moving to a higher paying role, and building income from skills already owned. The last one tends to surprise people, not because the idea is new, but because most people do not register their own expertise as something the market would pay for. A decade of industry knowledge, a skill built over years of practice. These are not just job qualifications, they are the foundation of a side income that requires no new credentials. The psychological shift here is the real lesson. Moving from protecting a fixed income to actively expanding it changes everything about how you make financial decisions. Defense has its place, but offense is what creates room. Lesson 4. Build the automated money system. Willpower is not a financial strategy. People get tired, distracted, and emotional, and the months where saving feels hardest are usually the months it matters most. Sethi tells the story of a teacher who set up an automatic transfer for the morning his paycheck hit. By the time he checked his balance over coffee, the money was already gone, invested before he ever had the chance to spend it. That is not discipline. It is design. Sethi's solution is not more willpower. It is a system that removes the decision entirely. As he writes, the single most important thing you can do to be rich is to start saving for retirement now. Not investing. Not picking funds. Saving. The automated system runs through 5 accounts working in sequence. A checking account that acts as the central hub, a high-yield savings account for short and medium-term goals, a credit card used deliberately for rewards, a retirement account such as a 401k or Roth IRA, and a long-term investment account. The moment a paycheck arrives, the system activates. Money moves to investments, savings, and bill payments automatically. What remains is guilt-free, already cleared by the structure. The spending framework uses 4 buckets. Fixed costs at roughly 50 to 60% of take-home pay, investments at 10%, savings at 5 to 10%, and guilt-free spending at 20 to 35%. The percentages matter less than the architecture. Once the system exists, the right decisions happen without relying on motivation. And motivation, as anyone who has tried to save manually knows, is the least dependable thing in personal finance. Set it up once, then get out of the way. Lesson 5. Simple long-term investing is enough. Most people imagine investing as something active. Charts, analysis, timing, picks. That image keeps millions on the sidelines, waiting until they understand it well enough to start. Every year spent waiting is a year compounding works for someone else instead of you. Sethi's position cuts through the noise. The most important investment you can make is not in any single stock or fund. It's in your investment plan, because a good plan, followed consistently, beats a brilliant plan, followed inconsistently every single time. The pyramid he describes has 3 levels. Picking individual stocks sits at the base, the most time-consuming approach, and, for most individual investors, the least rewarding. Building a portfolio of index funds sits in the middle. At the top is the target date fund, a single fund that automatically diversifies and adjusts its risk profile as your retirement year approaches. You choose a fund aligned with when you plan to retire, automate contributions through the system built in Lesson 4, and then leave it alone. The strategy is intentionally boring, and that is exactly the point. The investors who treat their portfolios like entertainment, checking daily, reacting to headlines, and chasing last year's returns, almost universally underperform the ones who set a plan and ignore the noise. Boring, repeated, automatic investing compounds into something that eventually does not look boring at all. 5 lessons. 1 system. 1 underlying argument. Wealth is not built through restriction or sacrifice, or waiting for a dramatic turning point. It is built by deciding what you actually want, spending in direct alignment with that, growing your income with real intention, automating the system so the right decisions happen without you, and letting time do the rest. As Sethi puts it, the real goal of money is to live your rich life, and you get to decide what that means. Most people are waiting for the right moment to get serious about money. This book makes the case that the moment is now, and the path is simpler than they were told. So here is the question worth sitting with. Have you actually decided what your rich life looks like? Or are you still saving toward a destination you have never defined? Because that one question, answered honestly, is where everything in this book begins. If this video gave you a clearer way to think about your money, hit the like button. It helps this reach the people who need it most. Subscribe for more weekly breakdowns that turn real financial insight into action. And if you know someone who is working hard but still feels stuck, share this with them. Sometimes one idea at the right moment changes everything. This is Mindcraft, where ideas become action and action becomes your future.